Hello, and welcome to today's skills video for Word 2019-365. Today, we're going to talk about how to complete the end-of-domain hands-on exercises in our MOS certification curriculum. If you've already downloaded the practice file, like I have, great. If you haven't, hit the pause button now and go do that. Once you have the file open on your computer, hit play again, and I'll show you how to use it. Now that you have the practice file in front of you, I want you to scroll through it. Notice it has two parts. The top several pages are the part of the document that we'll be working on. The bottom part of the document contains the exercise instructions. We're going to use Word's split screen feature to use both parts of the document at the same time. The split screen feature is found on the View tab here, in the Window group, the Split button. Go ahead and click the Split button, and you will see that your screen is now divided into two windows, top and bottom. You can scroll these windows independently of each other. And in this way, you will be able to keep the instructions in view at all times while scrolling through the rest of the document in the other window. The MOS certification exam uses a similar functionality to display both instructions and the working document on the same screen. So if this is a new feature to you, it's definitely worth getting comfortable with. So, a few tips on using a split screen. Number one, you can adjust the height of each window by mousing over the dividing line between the windows until a resizing handle appears. Once that resizing handle appears, click and hold, and then you can drag the dividing line to wherever you wish it to be, and then you have a larger window on top and a smaller window on the bottom, or however you prefer it. In order to work in one of these windows, you have to make it your active window by single-clicking anywhere inside it. Once you see your cursor blinking in the window you want to affect, you are free to work in that window. So if I want to work in the top window, the first thing I have to do is click my mouse anywhere inside this screen. Once I see my cursor blinking inside that screen, this is the window that I am affecting. If I want to work in my bottom window, I click in the bottom window. Once I see my cursor blinking, that is the window I am ready to affect. That said, even though you have two windows, this is still only one document. It is controlled by the single ribbon at the top of the screen, which is why it is so important to tell Word which window you want to work inside. However, if I make a change in one window, that change should be reflected in the other window. For example, if I click up here after physical well-being, and for whatever reason, I type in my name. If I come down to the bottom window and scroll up to that section, you will see that change has been reflected here. If I delete that change from the bottom window, you will see that change is reflected in the top window as well. Like any rule, there are exceptions, and Word has two notable exceptions to the if it happens in one window, it happens in the other window rule. The first one being the Show Hide Formatting Marks button. You find that on the Home tab, in the Paragraph group. My cursor is blinking in the top window. If I come up here and I turn on my Show Hide Formatting Marks button, you will see the formatting marks are visible in the top window, but not in the bottom. So if I want to see my formatting marks only in one window, that's a thing that happens window by window. It is not a universal change. The other thing you can do that is specific to the window is some of the options from Backstage. If I go to the File tab, I go to my Options, I go to my Display. If I tell it to show my paragraph marks just in one window, and I say OK, now my paragraph marks show only in the window that was selected when I went backstage and not in the other. So, as I said, like any rule, there are exceptions, and you have to be mindful of those exceptions. So, now that we have a handle on working in two windows at once. Let's go ahead and do the first instruction together just so you get comfortable with how this works. So in the bottom window, I will scroll down to my instructions. Number 1 says, set up the document pages. Apply the following changes to your document setup. Apply normal margins. So I will move into the top part of my window. I will click in this window so my cursor is blinking so I know I'm affecting the top of the screen. I will go to the Layout tab, to the Margins button. Notice I'm currently set on wide margins. This asks for normal margins, so I will select Normal. Second thing, choose Portrait Orientation. I'm already on the Layout tab. The Orientation button is right next door to Margins. I'll click. Currently I'm on Landscape. Let's choose Portrait. So I will click on Portrait. And then the very last thing wants me to apply the style set called Centered. Style sets live on the Design tab. So my cursor is still blinking up here, so that's good. I'll go to my Design tab. These are my style sets. I will mouse over them until I find the one that tells me it is centered. I will click on it, and now I have the centered design set applied. So that is a quick work through of how these hands-on practice exercises will work. You will go ahead and scroll through all of the instructions listed here. When you get to the end, save and close. Watch the example video so you can see an instructor performing the same set of instructions. Make sure your answers match up, and you are all set to go. So, using split screen is just that easy. Good luck on the exercise, and let us know if you run into trouble.